All right, man, we got the Giannis trade. It's not my Celtics. I was thinking for the last week, am I going to have to say goodbye to Jaylen Brown? And I do have some thoughts about how Jaylen Brown might feel about all this. I mean, if we know all that, then he knows whatever. Giannis is going to Miami. The Heat did it. They finally got in the rumors for a top-tier player, and they pulled it off. And the Giannis trade saga, it's over. It's finally over. Who knows how many reports and how many angry tweets Bucks fans had at Shams. So it's Tyler Herro, Khalil Ware, Jaime Jaquez, Jakucionas, 3 firsts, number 13, including number 13, 1 swap, and 1 second rounder. So there's certainly a lot of things that I mentioned Bobby Portis in that. It's just, when you look at them individually, is there one specific asset that just blows you away if you're the Bucks in this return? I don't know. But the collective amount of things on top of just realistically what teams between, where Giannis wants to go, where he says he'll actually agree to an extension with and all that stuff. I mean, of course, we're going to talk a lot about how it looks with him in Miami on both sides of the floor and all that. But look, Tyler Herro can get you buckets in the regular season. Playoffs have been pretty shaky for him. Not that the Bucks, I think, should be worrying too much about the playoffs after this, although they don't have their pick next season, which that complicates kind of anything that you want to imagine with them. Like if you want to imagine rebuilding trades for them after this, just remember, they don't have their pick next year. But also the team wasn't good with Giannis. So maybe Herro ends up going somewhere else. I'm sure we all saw those Pistons, Tyler Herro rumors. We'll just see there. Jaquez, he's a nice player, scores inside. Khalil Ware, the potential is, I'm going to say, still pretty high for this, in theory, shot blocking, 3-point shooting, among many things with Khalil Ware. But also Spo was, I'm just going to use the word frustrated with Khalil Ware, and sometimes we would see more of the Bam Khalil Ware experiment. Sometimes Spo just would not entertain it as much. He can have more of a runway in Milwaukee. I do think the idea of Khalil Ware is better when he's got like a high-end creator with him, and Herro, I mean, he can make plays for guys, and Jaquez can get downhill and make a simple play, and you got Ryan Rollins there, but okay. I mean, the hope is that Jakucionas could be that type of creator. We will just see. And then 31 and 33 unprotected, 30 pick swap. The pick swap, again, it's a good amount of stuff. And in one sense, waiting a decent while for a lot of those picks to end up coming back to you might not feel the best if you're a Bucks fan, but also betting on those picks being better at the least like 4 years out, it gives you more chance to, we'll just see how Giannis is in his like mid to late 30s. Now, I've already said I'm more optimistic than I guess some people might be when it comes to Giannis's aging, because my take on it is more so the dude is just such an athletic anomaly that even when he does have some decline, he's still going to be insanely athletic. But him having a 3-ball would be nice. I know he's had some flashes from mid-range. Now, the obvious counter to what I just said is, well, he's missed some games. 36 games this past year, even if it was also just a very weird Bucks season. Missed games in the playoffs. I understand. But yeah, and now for the Bucks, I mean, this is just, we're not going to talk about the Bucks a whole lot after this trade, okay? I had a great time talking about him and Giannis and Budenholzer, Middleton, Drew, the Dame trade, Brook Lopez, and many other things, but it's time for a different era. And would I say that they are the most equipped team in the league to pull off like a great rebuild? No, I wouldn't, because they are out just some of their own future picks. They could still try to get more picks while also having to balance the new NBA lottery, which says that you don't want to be in the very bottom 3, right? But they don't have to worry about that next season. Again, don't have their own pick next year. We'll just see how they manage it. And now for Miami and this Giannis fit, where the goal now is to win a championship. That's it. You've dealt a whole bunch of your future picks. You have cut into your depth. You have moved good players here. And I will just say now, the Giannis Miami fit, I think on defense, let's start with the defense, okay? You got Bam and Spo, which have been, if not an automatic top 10 defense with those two together, pretty close to that for a long time. Now, Jimmy was there for a long time doing all of his great defensive IQ, help defense, and switchability things. Giannis, I'm not going to say that he's the mid-20-year-old version of himself that was Defensive Player of the Year, but I do think with Bam's switchability and Bam just manning the middle, I would imagine that Spo can use Giannis as that help defender, and I think that can be the foundation. Just rim protection, and you could have like, Bam is higher up on some screen action to get the ball out of, Jalen Brunson's hands, and then Giannis can rotate on the back end, stuff like that, right? And then as far as the rest of it, you've got, I'm going to guess your starting 5 right now is Davion, Norm, Wiggins, Giannis, Bam. Well, to be fair, Norm is a free agent. Wiggins is on a player option. So if it doesn't end up being them, then okay, I'm going to look stupid right here. But Wiggins obviously can guard wings. Davion's tough as hell guarding guards. And also when he ends up switched onto a bigger guy, he is still going to be really, really physical. I would like to believe those four with Spo is the foundation of like what can be a really, really good defense. Like I would expect Miami again, assuming the roster doesn't look completely different in like a couple days here, to be once again a top 10 defense. As far as the offense, this is where we got to think about the Bam Giannis fit. So obviously we saw Giannis with Brook and then Miles in that last thing there, but we've mostly seen Giannis with a center who's going to shoot threes, even if teams are still going to dare him because we still have to rotate onto Giannis when he's just a brute force going at the rim, right? And yes, Bam took more threes this season. And of course, on one particular game, he pretty much couldn't miss and scored 83 points, but he was 32% for the season. I'm not going to go back and check how many threes he made in his 83-point game. Look, I don't think teams are going to be scared of Bam at the three-point line spotting up as Giannis is being Giannis at the rim. I also think pretty much the same thing happened with Brook, even if Brook was good from three for like years there. He was like 35, 36%. He would take some that were frustrating, but he was good from out there. And while Davion was like 40% from three this season, the volume wasn't particularly high. Like teams are going to choose to help off of him. Like Miami is going to be dared to make threes off of Giannis drives. That's obvious. Now, and Bam is also so much more than just, can you make threes now that Giannis is here? Like Bam is going to make teams pay for playing off of him through cuts, through attacking off the catch. Like Giannis is going to be able to bend the defense in a way that Miami just hasn't seen for a long time here. And like that is going to create easier opportunities for Bam, for Wiggins, for Norm, for Davion, for everybody. I mean, if Fontecchio comes back, Drew Smith, Jovic, if he can work out finally. I do not think that this is going to mean that Giannis's production is like noticeably different. Like this is Giannis. This is one of the best players in the league. This is one of the best drivers of the basketball we've ever seen, especially in transition, but also in the half court. And Spo is going to find any set you can imagine on and off the ball for Giannis. Now, it should be said, as we know, Miami this past season did not run as many simple pick and rolls. It was more so we want a spaced out floor. We want to have off-ball movement. We want you like driving on your matchup, and then we're spaced out. And if somebody leaves the corner, then somebody relocates to the corner. That all that type of stuff, right? The beauty of Giannis is, I mean, you can put him in that offense right now and just tell him go drive in a straight line to the basket, and he's been doing that forever. And then also, I do think Giannis allows you to just run more screen actions. If like I could see Bam screening for him at basically half court to get him a runway to go downhill. I could see. I mean, I am just banking on Norm coming back here. We'll see. Like maybe his feelings are hurt because of not playing in the play-in game. I don't know. I shouldn't say he didn't play. He played 19 minutes. But yeah, I mean, you need dudes who can put the ball in the basket. So yeah, like I could picture Norm like inverted screen actions with Giannis and popping out of those. But with all that said, I think a Davion, Norm, Wiggins, Giannis, Bam starting five. When I think about we're going for a championship, I would like to have one other guy that I would really trust in an ISO situation when a play is kind of going nowhere against a really good defense in the playoff series. And if a couple of those possessions become like Bam, you have to create out of nothing, or Davion or Norm, I would love if it was a little better of a guy in that spot. We go to the bench. I mean, Bobby Portis is here now. Okay. Fontecchio, he's a shooter. We'll see. I mean, he is a free agent. I like Pelle Larsson, but he's not as much of a shooter. The Jovic experiment, it'd be really nice if Jovic hit this upcoming season, just to be that like taller, skilled forward who can make shots and put the ball on the floor as well. So yeah, man, I mean, Miami, they got one of the best players in the league. The fans finally got a wish. It was, please pick a direction. We don't want to be just a play-in team year after year. And I've seen some very cynical takes on this before it happens. I mean, right now, the opinions are going crazy, I'm sure, of people being like just down on this team. I think I believe in Spo and the talent that's here more, and also Miami has traumatized me as a Celtics fan more times than I would like to count. Of course, Jimmy was there for a lot of those, but as long as Spo and Bam are here, I'm not going to count these guys out. And they just added the guy who almost beat the Celtics by himself in that series where Middleton was hurt. That might be all I got. Hopefully we get to see Giannis on deep playoff runs again. The guy's definitely good enough to take a team there.